It is late afternoon in mid-September. The portieres are open and a table is set for a birthday supper with cake and flowers. Stella is completing the decorations as Stanley comes in.
What's all this for?
It's Blanche's birthday.
She here?
In the bathroom.
Washing some things out?
I reckon so.
How long's she been in there?
All afternoon.
Soaking in a hot tub?
Yes.
Temperature 100 on the nose and she's soaking in a hot tub?
She says it cools her off in the evening.
Stella! I want a dog! One of those police dogs! A police dog. And you run out and get her cokes, I suppose, and serve them to Her Majesty in the tub. Sit down here a minute.
Stanley, I got things to do.
Sit down, I got the dope on your sister, Stella.
Stanley, stop picking on Blanche.
That girl calls me common.
Lately, you've been doing all you can think of to rub her the wrong way, Stanley. And Blanche is sensitive. And you've got to realize that Blanche and I grew up in very different circumstances than you did.
So I've been told and told and told. You know she's been feeding us a pack of lies here?
No, I don't, and...
Well, she has, however. But now the cat's out of the bag, I found out some things.
What things?
Things I already suspected, but now I got proof from the most reliable source, which I have checked on. I'm singing in the shower.
What were your boys?
Things I already suspected, but now I got proof from the most reliable source, which I've checked on.
I'm singing in the shower. Lower your voice.
Some canary bird, huh?
Now please tell me quietly what you have found out about my sister.
Line number 1, all the squeamishness she puts on, you should just know the line she's been feeding the bitch. He thought she had never been more than kissed by a fellow, but Sister Blanche is no hot someone as she is.
What have you heard and who from?
Our supply man down at the plant has been going through Laurel for years, and he knows all about her. She is as famous in Laurel as if she was the President of the United States, only she's not respected by any party. The supply man stops at a hotel called the Flamingo. Say it's a paper moon sailing a cardboard sea, but it would be make-believe if you believed me!
What about the Flamingo?
She stayed there too.
My sister lived in Belle Reve.
This is after the home place slipped through her lily-white fingers. She moved to the Flamingo, a second-class hotel which has the advantage of not interfering in the private social life of the personalities there. The Flamingo is used to all kinds of goings-on, but even the management of the Flamingo was impressed by Dame Blanche. In fact, they were so impressed by Dame Blanche that they requested her to turn in her room key for permanently. This happened a couple of weeks before she showed it here. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed me.
What contemptible lies! Deception! Deception!
Sure, I can see how much you would be upset by this. She pulled the wool over your eyes just as she did Mitch's.
It's pure invention! There's not a word of truth in it, and if I were a man, and this creature had dared to invent such things in my presence.
Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade! Without your love, it's a melody played to Betty Arcade! Honey, I told you I thoroughly checked on these stories. Now wait till I finish. The trouble with Dame Blanche was that she couldn't put on her act any longer in Laurel. They got wised up after 2 or 3 dates with her, and then they quit, and she goes on to another. The same old line, same old act, same old hooey. But the town was so small for this to go on forever, and as time went by, she became a town character, regarded as not just different, but downright loco nuts. And for the last year or 2, she's been washed up like poison. That's why she's here this summer, visiting royalty, putting on this act, because she's practically told by the mayor to get out of town. Yes, did you know there was an army camp near Laurel, and your sister was one of the places called Out of Bounds? It's only a paper moon, just a particular type of girl, which brings us to lie number 2.
I don't want to hear anymore.
She's not going back to teach school. In fact, I'm willing to bet you that she never had an idea of returning to Laurel. She didn't resign temporarily from the high school because of her nerves. No siree, Bob, she didn't. They kicked her out of that high school before the spring term ended, and I hate to tell you the reason that step was taken. A 17-year-old boy she got mixed up with.
It's a Battle Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. Indecent exposure!
This is making me sick.
The boy's dad learned about it and got in touch with the high school superintendent. Boy, oh boy, I'd like to have been in that office when Dame Blanche was called out on the carpet. I'd love to see her try to squirm out of that one. But they had her on the hook good and proper that time, and she knew that the jig was all up. They told her she better move on to some fresh territory. Yes, it was practically a town ordinance passed against.
Stella! This is the dress I wore to the cotillion. Can you get me a hair towel? I just washed my hair.
Yes, Blanche.
What's the matter?
Matter? Why?
You have such a strange expression on your face.
Oh, I guess I'm just tired.
Maybe you should bathe too, as soon as I'm done.
When will that be?
Not terribly long, now possess your soul in patience.
It's not my soul, it's my kidneys I'm worried about. Ha! Well, what do you think of it?
I don't believe all those stories, and I think your supply man was mean and rotten to tell them. It's possible that some of those things he said are partly true, but there are things about my sister I don't approve of, things that cause sorrow at home. She was always flighty.
Flighty.
But when she was young, very young, she married a boy who wrote poetry. He was extremely good looking, and I think Blanche didn't just love him, but worshipped the ground he walked on. Adored him and thought him almost too fine to be human. But then she found out.
What?
This beautiful and talented young man was a degenerate. Didn't your supply man give you that information?
All we talked about was recent history. That must have happened a pretty long time ago.
Yes. Yeah, it was a pretty long time ago.
How many candles are you putting in that cake?
I'll stop at 25.
Is company expected?
We asked Mitch to come over for cake and ice cream.
I wouldn't be expecting Mitch over tonight.
Why?
Mitch is a buddy of mine. We wore the same outfit together. 2 41st engineers. We work in the same plant and on the same bowling team. You think I could face him if...
Stanley Kowalski, did you repeat that to him?
You're goddamn right, I told him. I'd have that on my conscience the rest of my life if I knew all that stuff and let my best friend get caught.
Is Mitch through with her?
Wouldn't you be if...
I said, is Mitch through with her?
It wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
No, I don't think he's through with her. Just wise stuff.
Stanley, she thought Mitch was going to marry her.
Well, he's not going to marry her. Maybe he was, but he's not going to jump in a tank of sharks. Blanche, oh Blanche, can I please get into my bathroom?
Indeed, 1 second. Give me a minute, I need to dry.
Having waited 1 hour, I suppose 1 second ought to pass in a hurry.
And she hasn't got a job. Well, what will she do?
She's not staying here after Tuesday, you know that, don't you? I got her a ticket, a bus ticket.
In the first place, Blanche would never go on a bus.
She's going on a bus and she'll like it.
No, she won't. No, she won't, Stanley.
She'll go, period. P.S. She'll go Tuesday.
What'll she do? What on earth will she do?
Her future is mapped out for her.
What do you mean? Go.
Hey, canary bird, Toots, get out of the bathroom!
feel so good after my long hot bath. Something has happened.
Nothing's happened, Blanche.
You're lying. Something has.
Here.